It's Miles Simmons from Panthers.com. What did you take away from Sunday's game, and how do you feel like the offensive line performed as a unit?
Honestly, the game comes down to 4th and 1, right? I think any offensive lineman has enough pride and the gumption to say that when the game is on the line and you're supposed to get a yard, you need that yard. So I think there are things in which we can be excited about and say this is progress. But I think if I were being completely honest and straightforward, we did not do enough to win the game, especially when it was on our backs. So I'm extremely disappointed in that. In myself, we needed more, and we got to figure out a way to win those situations. The margin of error in this game, it's so small, and when it comes down to the situational football, that's something that needs to happen. We need to convert, move the ball down the field, score, and win the game for the team, especially on offense.
Hey Russell, it's Jason Huber with WFNZ. Is that how you would assess when you look at the play or the offensive line's play as a whole? Is that what you look at, or what positives did you take away from it?
Well, we were able to move the ball up and down the field a couple of times throughout the game. But again, situational football, it's mano a mano. Winning one-on-ones, and when the coaches call your number and ask you to get the yard, if you don't get the yard, we get that yard, we move down the field, and we work to win the game. We didn't. So it's hard for me to really look at the positives in the game when that's staring, me directly in the face. Since Pop Warner, it's always been about getting that yard. Like that's the pride of offensive line. That's what makes it so great. And then you don't get it. So it's, maybe it's just me and my personality, but it's hard to really find other reasons to say that was a good game. It's unacceptable. We need more than that. I got to be better for sure. 4th and 1 needs to happen. We need to convert and make that happen for the team.
Russell, it's Joe Person with The Athletic. Just wondered if you had any previous relationship with Teddy before this year, and if not, sort of what's it been like getting to know him over the last 6 weeks or so?
Hey, Joe. I've always admired Teddy from afar. He's always been an extremely consistent, calm-headed, poised quarterback. And I actually give him a little bit of crap for my time in Seattle when we went down there to play the Minnesota Vikings in below 20-degree weather, and we beat them. So that was definitely a memorable game for the both of us. But Teddy's a real talent, and his work speaks for itself. And I'm working my tail off to make sure he's successful and he's protected and well and can be the fullness of who he is. And who I believe he can be, so we got a lot of work to do on the offensive side, on the offensive line side for sure, but man, Teddy's he's a special talent.
Hey Russell, on Sunday against the Raiders, there wasn't a ton of pressure coming from the Panthers defensive line. Did that surprise you after practicing against them for the past 4 or 5 months that they weren't able to get to Derek Carr and yeah?
Yeah, so I got to say, I think Brian Burns is going to be an incredible talent. The kid can do so much, and then I want to see him be free out there and really trust himself. I think young Etor and Marquise, Steven, all these FA, all these guys, I think can give us a lot more. Like they have the capability to really dominate games, and even on the inside with all those guys, we all know what KK he can do. We have been practicing. We've been battling against these guys every single day. I know they're truly formidable, and they'll get there. I have that much belief in them.
Hey, Russell, Steve Reed from the Associated Press. I know you've practiced with Christian in the backfield, but now to actually play a game with him, what were your thoughts when you're playing them with him and maybe even watching him on film?
Man, what a freaking baller! What a freaking baller that guy is. He's so smooth, and his tenacity reminds me a lot of Marshawn Lynch. and just how dedicated they are to fighting for every single yard. And he has the smoothness of, Alvin Kamara and the ability, man. I mean, he catches the ball really well, runs it out of the backfield, can run any play that you ask him to run. And man, I've been really fortunate enough to play with a lot of really good backs. And I mean, he's definitely he's up there as one of the top backs in the league for sure. And I can't wait to see what we do again this Sunday.
Hey Russell, Ms. Jonathan Alexander. Hope you're doing well. In knowing what you know about the Tampa Bay Bucks and what their defensive line can do, what do you think is important in helping you all get a better push and protecting Teddy, this particular week?
Yeah, they're extremely stout. We're going to need to study film like crazy. I mean, whether it's JPP coming off the edge or Shaq, Sue in the middle, number 50, he's doing really well, and I believe 92. These guys are extremely talented. What they do, and they're going to challenge you for every single snap. So we're going to put our hard hats on, and we're going to see how it ends up this Sunday. But I'm certainly looking forward to the challenge.
Hey, Russell, Skylar Kelly, Sports Illustrated. Not having Dennis Staley is obviously a big hurt, but Michael Schofield seemed to have a pretty good day. This is a guy and he's played a lot of games in the NFL. So do you think that he played well on Sunday? And how about the chemistry on the offensive line as a whole?
Yeah, we're definitely missing Dennis. He's going to be an incredible talent for us one day. But, again, 4th and 1 at the end of the game with all the expectations to gain a yard, and we don't do it. I think that's pretty telling as to what we accomplish as an offensive line. So again, the standard is extremely high. It's extremely high all across the board. And, we need to convert that, drive the ball down the field and score and win our team the football game, and I think we have that type of room in the offensive line where we take extreme pride on the team believing in us to do our jobs extremely well. So we got a lot of work to do. We're going to have a challenging week amongst ourselves and hopefully go out there on Sunday and put a good product on the field.
Russell, David Newton, ESPN.com. I know you play on the opposite side of the ball from Tom Brady, or not with him, but you faced him in a Super Bowl and you faced him many other times in the AFC. What about him has impressed you over the years, and are you surprised by the mistakes he made in the opener?
I didn't really watch the game that they had against the Saints. I think we all know what Tom Brady's capable of. He's as cold as ice. He's a true winner. I think his resume really speaks for itself. There's nothing I can say here which can come anything close to what the feats he's been able to accomplish. But Tom Brady, he's the real deal, and I expect him to bounce back like he always does. And we got our hands full this Sunday with him.
As we have time, sorry, Josh, we have time for 2 more questions before we have to let Russell go.
Sure, Russell, Shaquille Barrett has been somebody that has really put a hurting on the Panthers over the past couple of seasons. What is it that makes him specifically so hard to block, and what is your job as a left tackle to keep in front of him?
Yeah, he's extremely crafty. I was even with him for a year in Denver. He works extremely hard. He's going to give you a bunch of different rushes. He watches. I'm sure he watches a ton of film. He has a different plan for every single tackle he plays against. And man, hats off to him. The guys come up from, I think it was a 4th round draft pick or something to that extent, and he's been able to work his tail off year to year, and he's now an All-Pro player. Man, I got to really get into the film room and get to work, in order to have a chance to beat this guy. But, Shaq, he's the real deal. Both those guys, with JPP, I've been playing with, against that guy for years, and I'm going to have my hands full, but it's good. It's good. This is what makes football so great.
Russell, Miles Simmons again. You've mentioned obviously a few times that the 4th and 1 is something that defines that last game, but what is your level of confidence that the line will be better going forward, and how are you guys making sure that you're prepared to do that?
Yeah, I think it's our attention to detail today. It's coming in Monday and not necessarily being content with our performance, but trying to figure out where can we get better, where can we push the envelope more to get the most out of ourselves and the most of our room. So I think Wednesday we all came out ready to work. We're going to go out and correct the mistakes that we made in practice, and we're going to keep coming at it. We're going to put our hard hats on, and and we want to be lunch pail guys. It's just like chopping wood. You just keep chopping away, and you get it down, So we have a really special room. I'm sure of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we do later on this week.